name is Agundez. I am from Calexico, California. Growing up, I used to go to church and I would enjoy going to church. But there was always that time where I would hear negative things about being a homosexual. During that time, my dad would take us to the drive-in. And I remember being in the drive-in and he took us to see Saturday Night Fever with John Travolta. And I remember that scene where he comes out and he's dancing in his polyester white suit. And I just looked at this guy and I'm like, wow, this beautiful person. And that's maybe the first time that I said, wait a minute, you're different. Why are you attracted so much to another person that's the same sex as you? Once I got to my junior year in high school, I had these feelings where, I still felt attraction towards men. There has to be something out there that's gonna fix me. So what do? I decide, you know what, let me join the military. I remember joining the Navy. I remember they bused me to San Diego and to sign my contract. This was back in 1991. I remember sitting with one of the recruiters and he started going through all these lists, medical history. One of the questions was, are you a homosexual? And of course, I would say no. And he would just check, no. I finally reported boot camp and I thought it was gonna be the opposite, but then, I'm in boot camp with 60 other guys in my same barracks and we're taking showers together. And I'm like, wait a minute, this is what I really like, but I'm scared. I cannot do anything. I'm just shy. I'm nervous. And I finally finished boot camp without doing anything. And next thing I know, they tell me, you're gonna go to New Zealand for 3 years. At this time, I'm already 19 years old. And that's when I went to my first gay bar. I saw that there was this gay bar not far from where I was, or from where the base was. I took a bus and I remember walking and I finally found it and I was walking back and forth. Should I go in? Should I go in? Should I go in? Should I go in? And I finally went in. I went straight to the bar, ordered a drink and start, drinking it fast. And I was nervous, but then I realized it's just not me. There's a lot of guys like me. There's a lot of guys my age, older, that are also homosexuals. So one day, this Saturday, I'm there and having a drink, and I saw this other guy that's stationed with me. He looks at me and I looked at him and pretty much with just our own eyes, like, what are you doing here? What are you doing here? And he came out to me and he says, don't worry, I'm not gonna say anything. But I just want you to know that you're not the only guy in the military that's also homosexual. That was such a great thing. That was a really great relief. And he was much older than me. I think he was like 10 years older than me. We instantly became really good friends. And he kind of became my mentor. During this time, of course, Clinton was already in office. He had already taken away that policy of asking you if you were homosexual when you came in. So it was don't ask, don't tell. We cannot be, just showing it aloud, because we could still get in trouble and maybe get discharged, I left New Zealand in 1994 and I was shipped to San Diego on my first ship, USS Chandler destroyer. We would hit these ports, Panama, Colombia, Peru, and I wanted to go to a gay bar. So I would follow them to the strip bars and I would just kind of just pretend that I was drinking. Once I saw them that they were all kind of drunk, then I would just kind of excuse myself to the bathroom, but I would head out. Maybe my last 6 years, I finally got orders to Jacksonville, Florida. I knew that I was going to become the supervisor. When I got there, the supervisor that I was going to replace had a little bit of a problem with me. One time, he kind of confronted me and it says, you came here and you think you own shop now. And I said, well, I do own shop now, you're about to leave. taking over. Well, I don't like the way that you're doing this, and this is the way it's been done, and you should just keep it that way. I'm like, well, this is not the way I work. And then he says, well, I don't care what you think, but I think you're just one of those weird. And I say, what are you gonna say? What was that? It's like, you just a weirdo. I say, oh my God, is that the best you could say? I say, and what if I'm a weirdo? Whatever that means to you. And he goes, I'm out of here. And he just took off. And that's when I said, you know what? I don't got time for this. I'm not gonna hide it. If they ask me, I am. So what? I became really good friends with this female sailor. And one time she approached me. She goes, George, how come you're not married? It's like, oh, I just never been married. She goes, oh, can I ask you something else? I'm like, yeah, sure. And I knew what she was gonna ask me. It's like, are you gay? Are you homosexual? I said, yes. She goes, oh my God, that's great. I remember she said, maybe I should hook you up with some other sailors that I know that are gay. And that's when I was like, wow, nobody really cares if you're gay or not in the military. When news came out that Don't Ask, Don't Tell was repealed by Obama, during that time I only had 7 months left in the military. And my first reaction, and also my thinking was, you know, thank God these young kids, they're not gonna have to go through the same obstacles that I had to go to, the same negativity that I had to listen to, and just by my tongue. We all gotta take risks, and at the end it pays off. I'm very grateful that I was able to do it for them, you know, because they had to start somewhere, you know, and maybe there might be other challenges now coming in the future. Now they could do it for the other generation that's coming in.